New Shoreham. This is the church. So there are people. The church is there, which is the old behind the trees. The vicarage, the old vicarage, used to be here, where the priest and the canon used to sit. And then through here, these people are buried from the old school. The priest, when they were actually taking burials in the ground. There are still plots here, but you have to sit within a postcode area of this church. And what you see is about 100 metres around this church. If you pass away in that area, you can be buried in this church area, I believe. That's what I'm being led to believe, being told. But the gravestones are there. We tend to plan for things like that in the UK. It's made out of sandstone. You can see that it's ornate, but it's been, you know, the writing's disappeared. They're tidying up this area. But it's the old school. But as I said, this was actually had a congregation, and it was canonised in 1026. Not in this state. It was on this land, but it was in a different style. It was smaller and shallower. It didn't have the spire, but it had the archways there, and they filled those in with flint, and they get the flint from the local area. So this area, what's this one say on here? 1881. It's up here. So yeah, 1881. A very, very old church. And so these are burial stones with maybe possibly people inside the walls and the crypts. It's the font. So that's this 1912 to 1991, and it goes all the way down to 10 or 19, whatever it is. And these are the vicars of this parish. Glory of our God. So AD 1957, backwards from 1957. And this one is 1901, back into the 1800s. It's a really, really nice church. The sandstone, the sculpture, the decorative work. You've got an electronic iPad, you put some money in. So you have the pews of the church. This is a big family church. And look at that. It's unbelievable, isn't it? People built this by hand. It wasn't cranes, there wasn't diggers. There was stonemasons that carved all of this. They carved all these windows here, and the balconies up here. So the less well off years ago would actually sit in the eaves, in the wings over here, and the people that had more money would actually sit in the main part of the church, the main atrium. There you have it. It's a gravestone. There would be a crypt underneath, and that would be burying people, their mausoleums. Over here is the organ. So they have an air pump organ which you pump your foot to turn around play the music. So that's a huge organ in there. You got hymns and psalms, and then you got pictures of Jesus Christ, and you got the radiators to keep the place warm. You need to remember that in the winter months, churches are very cold. Very cold. So this is where the choir sits, and the vicar sits up in here, and then there's the altar here, and then there's the... I'm trying to watch my feet because it does turn around and get difficult walking when it's all different levels. This is one of the oldest parts of the church here. So there was the main part where I've just come from, and then the other side is a newer part. But this church was congregated on this site before the Norman Conquest. Okay, and now 1026 was the time for the Norman Conquest. So you've got another organ up here. You can see that, the music coming out through that. So those long tubes are what gives the notes, and they pump the bellows. This church, stained glass windows. All churches in the UK used to have open windows to let light in, and then they started putting in this decorative artwork with the stained glass windows, and then it became a decorative area with all churches. So here, if you look here, they got like the old roof, that piece of sandstone coming down there, and that white area used to be the old church. So the old church will be here and on this side, and the new part was this wall and on that side. And the reason this is a new part is you can see the archway. It's got new decorative flowers, and it's got new ornate pieces of architecture going in with these new areas here. Or if you look this side, there are more columns, and they're coming over. So this used to be the easier way to turn around and do the church, was about doing these round cylindrical blocks and just build them up. On this side, they became big stones, hexagonal, round. So they were differentiating themselves between what was on this side and what was this side. And this is the oldest side of the church. But you can see that from that there, it tops out at the top there, that roof part, and then the top going up to the ceiling was put on afterwards. So the original church was here. Right up there is the extension back in the 1300s. And then you've got guttering that used to run down through here and pipe work, but now that's been turned into pipe work for the radiators. And then this, I can't remember what they call this thing, still baffles me, is a newer part of the church, but this is the older side. You can see how old it is. It's got open windows that have been filled in, it's got arches that have been filled in, and this side it's all been plastered and it's been decorated nicely. There's a lot of history behind the church, but the church is C of E, Church of England. It's not Roman Catholic. It started off Roman Catholic. Double doors, but I'm going around the side. This is what it looks like with the congregation. Lovely family. So let's have a look at the ground, shall we? There's gravestones in here from 1800, 1700 and 1600. So this is the grounds. This is the older part of the church. It's got a little squirrel running around over there. The vicarage is over there. And then this is the newer part that goes around to the gravestones, the graveyards. And then this way goes down to the town. It's right in the town, and it used to be used by the mariners and the seafarers. And down here is simple graves. See, inside it had that eave in it, so that's a 1500. It's got slots up there which was for arrows and firing bows, yeah, keeping people away. And then this is added on after that from the main cross. So the churches in the UK, majority of them were built as crosses, and then they added wings and eaves and areas on the side. But it's beautiful, isn't it? There's the clock tower. Can't see that on the inside because that's placed right on top of that flat roof that goes through there. But that little roof from that ledge is all new. Everything underneath is old church this way. It used to be like that, going all the way along there as a normal roof, and they've developed it further and improved it as the congregation got bigger and money and donations got bigger. So anyway, Shore by Sea on a Tuesday. I'm gonna get some lunch. Take care. So today we have shishta hook. This is roasted chicken with Greek yogurt, Greek salad, feta cheese, a little bit of oregano tomato sauce, some fried potatoes, my iced water, and then my little cup, look at that, of Greek coffee here in Shore by Sea. My lunch. There we go. Greek lunch on a Tuesday. Oh, da 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 dee 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 dee. No, it needs to be Zorba the Greek. Take care.